Hiya folks, we finally have some Final Fantasy XVI info. Now Square did promise us we would be getting some updates in the spring of this year, and June the 2nd is technically still spring, so they have delivered on that. And before we get the trailer reveal, we do have a bit of an introduction here from Naoki Yoshida, who is basically a legend to Final Fantasy fans since he systematically is credited as being the man that saved Final Fantasy XIV after its initial disastrous launch. Now, he is the lead producer on Final Fantasy XVI, and he's going to be bringing all of that talent with him. Just in case you need a brief refresher before we watch the trailer itself, the world of Final Fantasy XVI is divided into a multiple of kingdoms. I think it's 6 off the top of my head. It might be 7. But these kingdoms are at war with each other. It's the usual score, you get that. But the kingdoms each rely on a power provided to them by the game's summons, or as they are known in the world of Final Fantasy XVI, icons. And clearly, as you're going to see in this trailer, these icons, they have a huge role to play in this game. No pun intended, these things are massive, by the way. And icons have a sort of link with an individual known as a dominant. So there's a kind of a symbiotic relationship between an icon and a person. We don't know too much about that right now. I guess we won't for a while. But let's go into the trailer. You can clearly see how these icons are going to be really influential to the main story. They're a big part of it. So let's watch the introduction first by Yoshida.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さんこんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。長らくお待たせいたしましたが、いよいよファイナルファンタジー16の最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。最新のトレーラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみにお待ちください。今世界には本当に様々な困難があります。僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸命作るということしかできません。ゲームというエンターテインメントを通じてゲーマーの皆さんが心の底から楽しめる時間を提供していきたいと思ってます。それでは最新のトレーラーをどうぞ。
Right, so just before we get to the trailer then, it sounds like, along with the trailer itself, we can start to expect the round of interviews with the media. So hopefully we should really start to be getting some meat of, some information and that regarding the game, the story and the characters. The main character, by the way, is a chap named Clive. Now, there is also a release window for Final Fantasy XVI at last. And it's a little bit beyond what some of us were anticipating. We were, some of us were saying perhaps holiday of this year. It's going to be next year, 2023, at some point during the summer. So, yeah, a bit of a ways away yet, but hopefully, that will give them plenty of time to get the polish going, because the game, from what we've seen so far, and you'll see in this trailer, it already looks phenomenal. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer itself now. In a world ruled by tyranny and turmoil, there are those who would fight to take back control of their fate.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield, it wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us.
Good. That's Ifrit.
That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
And Titan.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
Yeah. The Titans are going to be at war with each other, with their dominance. Sorry, the icons of the Titans.
be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XVI.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, Ifrit.
Very ominous sounding, isn't it? Summer 2023. Yeah, I've got to say, you know, this trailer looks freaking awesome. And I'm just looking at the battles here. Because it looks like... It's looking like you can have... Because I think... I could be wrong, but I think it's just Clive you control in battle. But he's probably going to have a different set of moves and what have you based on the icon that's currently out and about. Because this is Clive, I'm sure of it. But this is Shiva that's been selected here. And it looks like maybe Phoenix down here. And, I don't know, Garuda. We saw Garuda introduced in this trailer. So it looks like you can switch between the icons, which is a little bit confusing for him because I thought each dominant only had access to one of the icons. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it looks like that Clive is the sole party member, but that I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of variety to the combat depending on the move set selected with whatever icon is out and about. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me anyway. It looks like you've got, is that Ifrit and Phoenix? So 2 fire icons. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's always a bit difficult to see what's going on in these trailers because you only get little tidbits of info. But what do you guys think of the combat? It's definitely, you know, Final Fantasy is no longer turn-based. I know it hasn't been for a while, but it's really moved away from that now, hasn't it? It really has. I'm not a big fan of Dark Souls combat, to tell you the truth. I hope that's not the direction it's going in. I've got the feeling that this game is going to end up being like the game that Final Fantasy XV always inspired to be, but never quite made it. It looks fun, you know, it does. It looks like there's a lot to do.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just Clive and that he can summon different icons to aid in combat and stuff. And it looks like it adjusts his moves and what have you. And I liked the... where was it? Yeah, there was a part where the actual summoners themselves were battling against each other. And it was part of the interface. So, yeah, here you can see Ifrit, I believe, battling Garuda. So I'm guessing there's going to be... you know, opportunity to take control of the icons themselves. That's going to be some pretty darn epic moments, isn't it? It really is. Yeah, and Odin's back as well, I noticed. Always love a bit of Odin in our Final Fantasy games, don't we?
Shake the island.
So, yeah, pretty exciting trailer, but please do let me know, guys, what you think of what we've seen now with Final Fantasy XVI. Okay, it was... not a huge amount of information, but as Naoki Yoshida said, we're going to expect more going forward. They're going to be doing interviews with the media and what have you. So I will keep you posted on any additional information and tidbits that come our way over the coming weeks and months as we move into 2023. So please make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to share your thoughts on the game down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.